partner. My name is Sheila, and I am your host. And this is your place for all things neurodivergent and the amazing people that care for them. Today, I want to thank our subscribers. As always, thank you for making this channel possible. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for helping this community grow and move along. We love to have you around. Make sure that if you're joining our live and you hear my cat crying, he has just been fed. Literally. I literally just fed him. So just ignore him. Um, First thing I'm gonna put is okay. Yeah, let me give sometimes for people to jump in. And let me throw this here on the side and start the Q&A. So anyway, I'm just kind of like waiting for people to jump in little by little, but let me get the housekeeping out of the way. So like I said, thank you to our subscribers, our fans. Make sure that you do all the cool stuff. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, make comments. That way more people can find our channel. If you are in the North Carolina area, I would love to connect with you. So please go to the description on the video. All of my socials and all of my contact information is in there. I would love to connect with more people from the area. The idea of this community is not only to keep it here in YouTube, but the idea is to grow it to a point that we can have like a co-op, if you will, for people that are neurodivergent or are caregivers to neurodivergent patients. Okay? So like I said, if you go to the job description, you're going to see some information about events and things like that, and also how to reach me. So make sure that you guys go check that out. Thank you to everybody that just joined the live. We are going to be talking today um, borderline personality disorder versus bipolar disorder. So no need to run away that quickly. I promise this is going to be a painless one, but I wanted to get the stuff out of the way. Also, whoever wants to win Chris Stapleton raffle concert tickets, purchase, not win. You would win the concert tickets. I'm doing a raffle. And I can accept, I can actually, each ticket is $3. He's going to be at the Bank of America Arena in Charlotte, North Carolina this coming June. The drawing is going to be May 20th, and we're going to do it live here in the channel. We're going to draw the winner and announce the winner, and the winner gets 2 tickets to the concert, June, Charlotte, North Carolina. And you'll have a whole month to plan where you're going to stay, if you're going to go visit Charlotte. It's a good opportunity for a vacation in June. North Carolina is amazing in the summer. So just wanted to kind of like touch on those, okay? So let's get into our topic real quick. Oh, let me throw it, 1 second, let me throw it down to the chat because I like to say hello and interact, and people deserve their respect for joining the live. I do not, I, oof. Yeah, our number one, I'm sorry that you feel you're ugly. I can't pronounce that name, that handle. Safari, thank you, thank you. Oh, it's morning where you're at. It is 9:16 over here. in the United States. Where are you joining us from? That's exciting. I mean, if you don't mind sharing. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about these two disorders, how they intersect, how they get misdiagnosed, what they are, what they're not, and if you are somebody that suffers bipolar disorder or has experience, you can sound off in the chat. Same with borderline personality, sound off in the chat. Make sure that you keep engaging. And like I said, make sure you do all the cool stuff. Hit the like, subscribe, make a comment. That's the way people find our channel. And I promise you guys, there's a lot of cool stuff coming. So again, let's start with bipolar disorder. So bipolar disorder is a mood disorder characterized by distinctive episodes of mania or hypomania and depression that can last weeks to months. And it often occurs with an obvious trigger. Okay? So with bipolar disorder, you have patients that can have hypomania is when people are kind of like hyper, um, not to a level where they're full-blown manic and psychotic, but enough that they are restless and can really regulate their bodies and their nervous system. So that's one of the main things with bipolar disorder. And bipolar disorder can be treated with psychotropic medication, and people can lead very successful, well balanced lives as long as they are in treatment. They definitely have a chance to thrive when you have bipolar. Now, how does borderline personality different? Oh, you're from Pakistan. Well, I mean, this is a neurodivergent channel. This is for mental health, learning, laughing about it, sharing tips. So if you find it boring, thank you for the hate watching. That does help the algorithm, but you don't have to stick around. Um, I am not an influencer and I am not monetizing. So I am doing this just to build community, help people, share knowledge, and connect. Just connection, human connection. There's no reason to get ugly on a mental health channel. So, borderline personality disorder and how it differs. Borderline, on the other hand, is a personality disorder and is usually marked by rapid mood shifts, sometimes within hours or a single day, and they are usually triggered by interpersonal relationships and stress in those relationships and perceived rejection. So this can be, and this is where they interject and where they kind of like are similar to each other. Because if you see somebody that is bipolar and they are rapid cycling, their moods are going to be all over the place. Like they can cry now and they'll yell at you the next time, and within half an hour they are laughing like nothing happened and they'll give you a hug. um that happens with bipolar disorder when it's untreated and is what they used to call cyclotemic disorder, which is just rapid cycling. That's why a lot of the times these two disorders get diagnosed at the same time or they mismatch, because that's the difference between them, is that whereas bipolar disorder can be managed with psychotropic medication and the mood swings are there, um, with borderline, it has to do with relationships. People with borderline personality disorder are terrified of rejection. So they will push you away just to prove to themselves that they are not likable. So they feed that narrative, that negative narrative, and sadly, it really affects their lives. Um, Hi, Ethan. Thank you for joining the live. I appreciate you. You won the tickets. You gotta go to the job description, join the raffle. I don't have a problem mailing the physical tickets. We have a lock box. The drawing is going to be May 20th. Like I said, it's going to be live here in the channel. We'll announce the winner of the two tickets. But yeah, each little raffle ticket is $3. I can do Cash App, I can do Venmo, I can do PayPal. So if you're interested and you really, really, really like Chris Stapleton, this is for his concert in Charlotte, North Carolina. So if you're interested, again, check everything in the description and make sure that you share us with your friends and do all the cool stuff, okay? How am I doing today? I'm doing good. Doing good. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Means a lot. And not everybody takes the time to at least ask. Um, so yeah. So with borderline personality, again, interpersonal relationships are usually what triggers these personality and this pattern of thought. Common fears that bipolar patients suffer: fear of never getting better, fear of abandonment, and fear of losing control. Versus common fears of somebody with borderline personality disorder, they have a deep, debilitating, crippling fear of abandonment. So even the most likely disruption in their relationships will trigger a crisis. Emptiness and uncertainty about their identity. So constantly shifting their self-image, their value, and usually they have a tendency to attach their value and their worth to what they give out, right? So, and that does not make you worthy. You're worthy because you're here, you're alive, you're a human being, and that makes you worthy. Ethan, I can understand and appreciate that it is your dad's birthday. Like I said, you can participate in the raffle. And the raffle is to help my nephew. Let me just put that very clearly. My nephew is autistic, level 3. So he's 8 years old. He has insufficient insurance. And right now, he's not receiving his therapies because my family cannot afford it. We are middle class. We are the working poor. We are one of those people that has a hard time covering a $300 emergency. So that's why we're getting creative and doing different fundraisings, okay? So let's talk about strengths because people always talk about the stigma, the judgment, the fears, but we don't talk a lot about strengths. So, some of the strengths that you can see in patients with bipolar, for example, despite the challenges that they might have, they're usually extremely creative. They channel their emotion. There are masters at channeling their pain into art. I promise you. Resilience. Bipolar patients are very resilient, most of them anyway. Uh, I am too young, probably, so I might not be able to do it. How young? Are you one of your, oh my God, are you one of our teenagers that comes join all the time? I can understand, and that's okay. Um, so yeah, so with people with bipolar disorder, they can be incredibly resilient and have high empathy and self-awareness. These patients have a deep, deep emotional experiences, and that heightens their level of empathy and insight into others. Don't be surprised, bipolar people are extremely good empaths. They are really good at reading people, reading a room. The only thing is they carry everything with them. Now let's talk some strengths for the borderline personality disorder community. So one of their superpowers when you have borderline personality disorder can be hyper empathy. So they have this emotional attunement that is, they can read your feelings very quickly. So you could be smiling. This is not the type of people that you're gonna smile through your tears and they're not gonna pick it up. They will um pick that up. They are very passionate. That sometimes is part of the problem with this disorder, is that passionate people usually pour everything into somebody else, and if they perceive they're not getting the same back, they freak out, and they the fear of abandoning and rejection kicks in, and they just go into that fight or flight mode. Or, well, we know now that trauma responses are more than fight or flight, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. They are also very courageous. They are their intensity that people sometimes misunderstand when it comes to borderline personality. They are very intense. Trust me, I live with it, with one. Not that I have borderline. I'm sorry, that came out wrong. But I do live with somebody with borderline personality disorder, and the level of intensity sometimes. I'm a caregiver, and I'm a social worker and a mental health tech. I'm an EMT, and half of the time I don't know how to deal with this person. It's exhausting sometimes. But that's what you do when you love people, right? You show up for each other. So let's get back into it. So like I said, their intensity usually fosters a lot of dedication in relationships, especially when they're advocating for others. So that is one superpower that borderline personality disorder has, is that these people, their hyper empathy and their passion make them great advocates for whatever they're passionate about. These are the people that are going to get it done if you can show up for them and reassure them that you're not going to leave them alone. So, both disorders come with fears, both have superpowers. The main thing is getting an accurate diagnosis, and that can be challenging, but it's not impossible. My main thing is we need to start breaking stigmas. We need to start by understanding people as a whole and the full picture. We need to show each other grace throughout the challenges and celebrate the strengths. And that's the way that you deal with things like that. Desi, I have no idea what your comment says. So, thank you. If it's for hate watching, thank you for the comment. It helps the algorithm. So anyway, you guys, again, let's keep breaking the stigmas. Let's keep dealing with the challenges. If you or a loved one is experiencing these fears, make sure that you reach out to a professional. Help is available. If you or somebody you know are having a crisis, remember that you can text or call 988. That is a national crisis line, and they will connect you with a master level clinician that can handle crisis intervention. And as always, you guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking till the end. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Make sure you check the video description. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good night. Bye bye.